feel like this is such a complex, confusing situation across the...
Well, it's been 3 weeks since the Naughty 40 was stolen, and we have an update. However, it's sadly not the update I was hoping to give you guys. This episode, we're going to talk about how Queensland Highway Patrol and traffic cops have potentially ruined the entire investigation and any hope at the Naughty 40 being returned. You're probably wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Well, let me explain. All of you guys probably by now, I've been posting on the socials. There's a couple of videos that I was sent in from you guys of the stolen trailer and a white Prado being pulled over on the side of the motorway in Brisbane with a heap of highway patrol and traffic cops around it. Pulling them over, there was guns drawn, there was all sorts of craziness going on. At the time, it seems that the traffic police that had pulled those people over had no clue that that car and the trailer was stolen. And I believe they might have just been pulled over originally because the trailer had a trade plate on it. And I'm telling you this because the important part of that is that the two people that were driving the stolen Prado and had the HD Automotive trailer hooked up on the back, which was stolen and originally had the Naughty 40 on it, they let them go. Yeah, so Queensland Highway Patrol let those two guys go and no charges or anything, no possession of stolen goods, nothing. So they've just let these guys go. What that means is that the trailer wasn't sent for forensics. It was covered in blood at the time. The police didn't notice that. These two guys being in possession of that stolen trailer and with another stolen vehicle, obviously they were probably on their way to go and steal more cars, but the traffic cops went straight over their heads. They released these guys, which means we don't have the names, we don't have them in custody, and it's pretty damn obvious that these guys would have been either directly or indirectly linked to the original theft from HD Automotive and the location of the Naughty 40. The biggest problem is that with these guys being released that night and still to this day, a week later, 0 charges being laid against these guys means that they are, could be anywhere in the country right now. They could have fled. The other thing is, we've got no idea where the Naughty 40 is, and wherever the Naughty 40 was being stashed, chances are Queensland Highway Patrol have now given these guys an opportunity to go free, move all the stolen stuff and any sort of evidence, I guess, and move it from wherever they would have had it to make it even harder for these guys. So what does that mean? Well, pretty much means that all hopes and dreams are rapidly vanishing. The only silver lining we have is we've got a new crime squad that's looking into the case, and they've just picked that up as of Friday, so from the time of upload last Friday. And these guys seem to be quite on top of everything. And the detective that's running that, Baden, he is going to be looking into exactly what went on with the body-worn cameras on the night of that incident and find out exactly what the Highway Patrol guys were doing and try and see where it all went wrong. Obviously, these guys should have been arrested. There should have been charges for possession of stolen goods and they should have been questioned and houses should have been searched for the whereabouts of the Naughty 40. We're really hoping that this detective can get to the bottom of something, at least find out why the police were so incompetent that night, and hopefully get somewhere with the Naughty 40. These guys are the people that do kick in doors and execute search warrants and that kind of thing. There are a few leads that we're working on, but again, it's been 3+ weeks since the car was last seen. There's been not a single lead. There hasn't been any more sightings. There hasn't been any parts popping up online. So as much as I wish I could be a optimist and say like I'm really looking forward to the Naughty 40 coming back, I just at this stage don't know if it's going to be good news at this late stage in the investigation. The detective said to me, that the events that night have potentially cost him the investigation, and letting these guys go was probably the worst thing that could have happened, and it was incompetent policing, and it definitely seems that way because the events of that night, the first time they were pulled over was 7 o'clock. The trailer was handed back to the owner at around midnight that night. The Prado was just left dumped. The two people that were driving the stolen Prado were let free to go. There's just so much grey area and so many question marks and so many questions that need answering. Hopefully we can get some news out of these detectives, but I'm not going to hold my breath, and I don't think you guys should either. So this will probably be one of the last Naughty 40 updates. I just don't really know what else we're going to be able to come at you with unless we find this thing torched or dumped or parts start popping up online. Hopefully these detectives can get to the bottom of where the car is, who these guys were that had the trailer, and hopefully someone can be at least charged with the theft of the trailer, if not the naughty 40, for a small slither of justice. But otherwise, yeah, we're gonna look on to the future and try and sort of, I guess, just get on with it. I think there's no point being mopey and sad and depressed and in a slump. So, what does that mean? Well, next week we've got a sick episode with a 300 horsepower 80 series in a sus with Sam. We've got a stack more content coming up, all sorts of DIY videos, trip videos, more sus with Sam episodes, and I think realistically we're going to have to start looking at a replacement car. So we've got that for you guys to look forward to in the future. Until then, guys, I appreciate all the support on socials. Please make sure you subscribe, drop comments, share this around, and yeah, keep your fingers crossed, and we'll see you next week. Before we go, enjoy this little montage of the naughty 40 and some of the good times we had with that car. It's going to suck to watch, but hopefully you guys enjoy.
If just for a minute I'd fall asleep and not dream about you. I hate to admit it, I'm out of ideas, I don't know what to do. Most of the times I think I'll make it through, but all that it takes is one image of you and it shivers. Nobody knows the way it shivers. Nobody knows. If just for a minute I'd fall asleep and not dream about you. And I hate to admit it, I'm out of ideas, I don't know if I'll cope without you. Yeah, it shivers. Nobody knows the way it shivers. Nobody knows 'cause it shivers. It's cold and it's dark without you in my arms. Yeah, it shivers, it hurts. Shivers, it hurts.